Today I'm going to present my research on the effects of I-ready on math diagnostic skill scores. To be successful in mathematics, students must be able to do the 4 basic operations, which are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Without these skills, students cannot be successful in mathematics. Over the last 20 years, researchers have conducted studies to determine effective methods in assisting with the decline in mathematics achievement. Along with the curriculum, computer instruction and interventions have assisted with mathematics improvement. Research conducted by Wilder was used to determine the effects of an empirical model on 9th grade students' achievement in mathematics, compared to the traditional method of instruction in the classroom in pre-algebra. Students in this study received instruction through a computer-based program called ELEX for 15 weeks. In this study, the experimental group received instruction through a computer-based program, and the control group received instruction through the traditional method of instruction. The results show that the students that used ELEX retained the information better than the group that did not, but it did not deem that the empirical model was better than the traditional model. In 2014, Caritas and Deere conducted research to determine if the computer-based program Success Maker was successful in assisting students with achievement on their math state test. The study showed that using the software, students were proficient in math. It suggests that if they integrate the curriculum correctly along with the math software, then the students can meet their mathematics achievement. Research by Bergen and other researchers was used to determine whether students' math scores were affected by different methods of instruction. Medvitamin and Sketchpad were used for interventions on the computer for at least 4 hours a week. The other students received interventions through the traditional method. The researchers established that there was an increase in the post-test scores for the group that did use the computer programs. The implementation of this program assisted with mathematics achievement as well. In 2014, Ravenel and 2 other researchers conducted a study to determine if student engagements, attitudes allow students to be successful in mathematics. The first group received remediation through 2 computer programs, one called First in Math and the other Math Magician. The other group received hands-on activities such as mathematics flashcards. The study was conducted and the students were tested through a computer program called Star Math. The study revealed that the students receiving the interventions through the computer programs were more engaged than the students that used the hands-on activities. Shapiro, Dennis, and Fu conducted a study to determine whether computer adaptive testing and computer-based measures for progress monitoring assisted students in mathematical achievement for grades 3 through 5. The authors showed that there were positive trends for Star Math. The researchers revealed that the computer testing showed a strong correlation with state assessment than the computer-based measures in grades 3 through 5. But both measures can be used to assist with progress monitoring. In 2014, Schnall and 4 other researchers conducted a study to determine the effectiveness of an online educational software for mathematics. It revealed that the students using the computer program had better scores on their post-test scores than the ones that did not. Students that used the computer more than others averaged around 10.4. Other students that did not receive as much usage on the computers did not do it as well. They concluded that the program did have positive effect on students. I decided to conduct my research on I-ready to determine if there was a positive correlation between students using the I-ready program and increased score growth on their diagnostic assessment. The purpose of the study is to determine the effects of I-ready instruction on the scale score for 6th grade students. I wanted to know if the iReady program affects 6th grade math students' diagnostic assessment scores. I believe that the students that use the iReady program will have greater scale score growth than the students that did not receive regular instruction and interventions from iReady. I used a quasi experimental design. I used a convenient sampling with 6th grade students from the school which I currently teach. The study lasted for a 9-week period. There were 2 groups, the experimental group, which did use the iReady program, and the control group, who did not use the iReady program. What is iReady? iReady is an online program that has engaging assessments and instruction programs. The diagnostic test assess students in 4 different domains: numbers and operations, algebra and algebraic expressions, measurement and data, and geometry. Once the students finish the diagnostic assessment, the results are used to customize their lessons and provide different instruction and intervention to meet the needs of the students through online instruction. I had 63 students that participated, which all were attending a Title I school. The experiment group, which is students that used iReady, 32 students, and the control group, who did not use iReady, had 31 students. The school has 203 students. Among those, 45% are female, 55% are male. Of those, there are majority African American, with only 1% being Hispanic. Of the 6th grade students, total of 63, 21% of the students were participants in Tier 2 and Tier 3. To measure their growth, we use the iReady Adaptive Diagnostic Assessment, which is completely online. It takes an hour and 30 minutes to complete the assessment. It assesses them in those 4 important domains, which are numbers and operations, algebra and algebraic expressions, measurement and data, and geometry. It is reliable because it is aligned with the state Common Core standards. It measures what students are expected to know, and then it helps meet those specific needs. The responses the questions are adapted based on the incorrect answers that students choose. There's a pre-test and there's a post-test that is given. So once the students take the pre-test, the data is collected, and the iReady group receives their instruction for 5 times a week in addition to 2 days in the computer lab. The control group received instruction through regular Envision program with no iReady interventions. There were observations in the classroom along with observations in the computer lab following the pre-test and the post-test. Interventions were used with the print materials from iReady, and after the students received their interventions for a 9-week period, they took a post-test and that data was collected. As you can see, the results, the mean for the iReady group is 11%, and for the ones without iReady, the mean is 5. Standard deviation is 18.7. First, the F-test was conducted, and then a T-test was conducted to determine variances between the 2. This is the T-test. If you notice, the T-stat is 1.21, and the standard deviation is 20.6. Prior research shows a positive correlation between computer-based math instruction and math growth when combined with different types of instruction and intervention. The results were not statistically significant enough to support my hypothesis that iReady did affect math skill score growth on the diagnostic assessment. However, the study does prove that iReady is an effective method of instruction because the students had a higher mean that used iReady than the students that did not use iReady. The study was conducted over a small period of time, so that means that the results may have not been as accurate as if there was a larger sample that was conducted over a longer period of time. The study only used 6th grade students. If we had used additional grade levels or more students, then we may have had more accurate results. And we only paid attention to scaled score growth. If we were to do another study, we can do this study over an entire school year. Instead of doing a pre-test, post-test, we would include a mid-test in the middle. We would use those results, run the same test, but we'll have a longer period of time. Further research is needed to find correlation between the already instruction and math growth. Now I have presented my information. Do you guys have any questions?
Are all assisted computers?
How can this study be improved?
The study can be improved by adding more students or adding additional grade levels, as well as conducting the study over a longer period of time.
Are all computer assisted programs beneficial to students?
Not all programs are necessarily beneficial, but most are. More research will have to be conducted in order to prove that all programs are good computer-based programs.
It was a good presentation. It was well put together.
Thank you.
Great information for the students. And appreciate it.
Thank you. I would like to thank you all for listening to my presentation. Thank you.